the sensation of need and want that never needed to exist. Your want and need is the contrivance of nature. It is contrivance of a DNA molecule. It is not a necessary component of the universe. It is a blight on the fucking universe.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I still don't see how you can say that, like an orgasm, to identify something as a zero sum. How can you actually pinpoint a pleasure as a zero sum when you can always increase that pleasure level?
Again, you're saying you
theoretically
can always
anyway.
increase this. No, well, theoretically, I don't think you can, okay? Because I think if you really deconstruct it, you can see that the amount of pleasure that you can achieve is dependent upon how much tension, aggravation, frustration, futility, whatever kind of emotional negative you can build up in the individual. So my argument is going to be is that the more you build up, the better the orgasm will be, because you'll have a longer distance to go between your discomfort and your comfort. And that's part of how the game is, and that's part of the reason why people become unsatisfied, is because they become too satiated. It becomes they're too comfortable, and so now their orgasm is coming from too comfortable a level, and so now they demand more because they don't.
So what is it that you actually see as flawed with the idea that right now, our position now, let's say, I don't feel any discomfort, not feeling any particular pleasure, maybe some pleasure, but why is this not the neutral position? Why do you see that as
why again, I didn't say it wasn't the neutral position. I didn't say there was anything horrific about you being in a state where you perceive yourself to be comfortable. I'm arguing that that's part of the mechanism, okay? That's part of how you've been manipulated by a DNA molecule, okay? You're going to keep denying that's taking place, but that's my argument, okay? That you have an illusion, that you're not really as comfortable as you think you are, and that if you were like Star Trek aliens or something, and those Star Trek aliens actually had to live inside your consciousness, they'd say, oh my God, how do you exist in this horrible pain? Because from their perspective, they would be able to sense just how uncomfortable you truly are. But we are distracted. Our brain gets occupied. We get, like right now, right? I'm physically uncomfortable right now. I got some fucking little physical miseries. But when I'm in the middle of this, I'm distracted. My brain is occupied. So that discomfort doesn't get to own me. It doesn't get to own my consciousness. But if it's strong enough, it will take over. It will control me. Okay, if the pain is hard enough, and so it gets to own the consciousness. And so this is a subtle battle over our perception, but again, it is all an illusion in the first place. It's all something contrived inside of our brains, not out of any necessity that exists outside of our existence. And the positive value, again, is like a poison apple. It doesn't take much negative to destroy any illusion of positive. So again, I will argue to you, I could have an orgy with 10 people enjoying themselves in an orgy. And if I throw into that 10 an 11th person that is in intense, horrible, terrible pain, I have now made a net equation that is not a good fucking thing. The whole orgy pie has now been as a net, something I wouldn't create, okay? Because that negative is more powerful, more potent than that superficial, trivial orgy wallowing in sentient comfort.
Well, I would just work to eliminate that particular suffering. But anyway,
again,
we've already discussed that.
Working to eliminate. Who's opposed to working to eliminate? Nobody. That's not the fucking issue that's being discussed. I mean, again,
right.
if there was fucking realistic hope that you're working to eliminate was actually going to do that in the world, then I'd say that was worth saying. But it is completely meaningless. That's like saying, well, let's not waste money on war anymore. Well, yeah, okay. Who's going to vote against that? Let's put that on a ballot and see who's going to vote against that. Everybody loves the idea of, well, yeah, it'd be a good idea if we didn't do that. Yeah, but ask people to disarm. See how quickly that'll happen.
No, I mean, I agree. I agree. That part, I think we agree that we're not on the right path. It doesn't look very promising in the future. We can agree on that. But I'm more interested in this other topic of just value of life in general. So here's the fundamental disagreement I think that we have is that you keep talking about this thing about illusion. It's just an illusion. In my opinion, the illusion is all that matters. That is everything. For example, I don't believe in free will, yet I have an illusion of free will. To me, that's all that matters. And I don't. If I find out right now, as a matter of fact, that there is no free will, that it's just an illusion, it's proven. The world is deterministic. My life wouldn't change at all. My joy, my outlook, my goals, my desires, all these so-called illusions, it wouldn't matter. So what you seem to be dismissing, because there's no absolute cosmic, realness to it, it doesn't matter. It's like, take the Matrix, for example. When Neo was in the Matrix...
Well, whatever, you're going to keep... Again, you start from these false premises. I've made the metaphors for it, okay? And you're going to keep talking like it's all a fucking mental illusion, and now all of a sudden suffering doesn't matter. But it does matter. This is real milk that's spilt. And it's a real fact that we don't clean it up.
I didn't say that suffering doesn't matter at all.
They're saying clean it up. We all agree clean it up, Gary. You're saying kill it all off. That's not cleaning it up. Burn the house down. That's cleaning up the house, cleaning up the living room. There's dog shit in the living room. Burn the house down.
Gary, you're muted. Can't hear you.
Neil, Pyro, you're never going to make anything out of this. So again, why do it? Why do it? It can accomplish absolutely nothing. Anything it can accomplish, you've already done 1 billion times already. We've already fucked every fucking position possible. We've experienced every kind of love and failure and accomplishment and victory. We've done the agony of victory and the defeat of whatever 5 billion zillion times. We've played the game over and over and over and over again, and all we're doing is just piling more mess. We're just making more mess, more mess, more mess, more mess, more mess.
We're getting rid of slavery. We solved worm in your dog, miserable dog, and so on and so forth. We're not making more mess. We're cleaning up messes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Pyro. There's more animals in harsh, brutal captivity now than there ever has been at any point in human history. So that's just bullshit.
Well, what do you mean? Because there's more people.
Yeah, there's more people. There's more puppy farms. There's more animal farms. They're more efficiently and brutally taken care of. Yes, they're more easily, and the machine grinds them up even quicker than in the past.
So Gary, you just said before that if we achieved a certain state here where suffering was pretty much almost eliminated, you would not press the button, okay? Now, imagine if somebody on another planet, there was a lot of suffering there, and they had that red button. Would they be justified in pressing that red button and ending our, relatively good planet simply because they're suffering on their planet?
Well, yeah, if they both have to go, if that's the rule, you can't do just one. Again, it's a net equation. So yeah, if you have a 0 plus a -5, well, it's a -5. Okay, so yeah, that's the way it works. It's the risk. I told you that before. If the risk still exists, there's still no point. Because there's no need to do it. You are accomplishing nothing. No need is served. There's no red number in the universe until you interject the sentient creature. Without the sentient creature, there's no possibility of a negative. There's no downside risk in a universe without sentient life in it. That's just a fact. There's no downside risk.
Can you explain that part where you said if that needs to be done? Now, why do they need to destroy our planet? Can you explain that? What you mean by that?
You're the one who made the rule that both planets have to be destroyed. You said that. I didn't say
No, I asked you if they were justified in pressing the red buttons. In pressing the red button to destroy the entire universe.
You're the one who said they both have to be exploded. Now, are you changing the fucking equation? Can I explode just one of them, or do I have to blow up both of them?
No, okay, you missed it. That's not that wasn't my question. Let me clarify it. So you have another planet. They're in the same solar system, and our planet is relatively peaceful. We've reduced almost all suffering. But in that planet, it's very chaotic. It's horrible, and they can press the button to end this entire solar system. Would they be justified in doing that?
Well, yes, because like I said, the net, again, how simple can I make it? 0 plus -5 is -5. The net equation is it's still a negative. Now, are you asking me would it be wiser if they just take out their own planet? Well, I guess it'd be better if they just take out their own planet. That probably would be better if they could just do that. Fine. Again, why ask the same question two different ways? That's just asking me again, would I annihilate this planet if there wasn't people suffering or animals suffering? Well, of course I wouldn't. If there's no mess that needs to be cleaned, then I'm disinterested. I'm janitor, okay? Janitors only care about messes. They don't care about anything. If there's no mess, there's no janitor sits on his ass and watches TV.
Well, yeah, that's the point that I was driving at. It's that if they could, they would just destroy their own planet. So my question is, how is that different than just destroying the suffering or the people or the animals that are suffering here instead of everybody else?
Well, again, if we could do that, that would be perfectly fine. But we can't do that, so there's no fucking point in even saying it. What's the point in that? Well, why don't we just get rid of all the negative? Well, yeah, that's fine. If you can get rid of all the negative and just keep the positive, so you just keep the orgasms and the boners and the vaginas, and you just get rid of all the rest of it, okay, then fine, yeah, I'm perfectly satisfied with that. But that isn't going to be anything realistic that you have any hope or chance of getting to. So again, if the red button's in front of me, I'm banging on it, I'm hitting it, I'm smashing it hard.
And how much?
I think you're just saying that there's no fucking way you're telling me that given a chance, you'd fucking kill me in an instant? Is that what you're fucking saying, Gary? Because that's fucking fucked up. That makes you want to... I defended you when you were called a Nazi before, but that's fucking not...
Universe. That's right, I'm quite perfectly confident that my logic hasn't been challenged.
So you think you kill a million people?
Challenged the DNA argument, no one's challenged the psychological addiction argument, no one's challenged the basic premise that we are consumption, reproduction, cannibalism, and addiction. That's the ingredients we are made out of, and that those ingredients can only lead to preposterous waste. And yes, I am against preposterous, ludicrous waste because people want to watch a soap opera on TV. That's all people are living. They're living vicarious, empty, superficial, trivial lives, trivial pursuits, trivial glories, trivial satisfactions at the huge cost of billions of sentient creatures being fucking goddamn insidiously tortured. It's insanely stupid, and yes, I would vaporize the entire universe. I would turn it into fucking photons, and I'd blow it all to bits.
Ridiculous that you would not kill a single person or my single dog, but you think if you just do so many that the individual murders you would have committed wouldn't count as individual murders. They still would, Jerry. That's how it works. I know it's abstract.
Wouldn't reproduce, but you won't play the game rationally. You'll keep imposing your will on me.
Hey, I'm not your parent. I didn't impose it on you.
Unconsciousness. You'll keep playing your Frankenstein games. If you
I'm not your parent.
If you would agree to quit being Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein, if you give me a signed contract saying I will no longer be Dr. Frankenstein, I won't press the button. But you won't sign the paper, so I'm pressing the button.
You're fantasizing about pressing it. It'll never get pressed. You're just fantasizing. You're spending time fantasizing about the death of humanity. It's not pretty.
Newsflash, fucker. It's gonna get fucking pressed.
No, you're wrong.